time to bring you the latest news on the Lakers, where we present the most exciting and up-to-date sports information every day. Today, we have a report that's sparking intense debate within the NBA community. This trade could influence the future of several franchises in the coming years. And trust me, you'll want to follow this detailed analysis because there's much more behind it than meets the eye. We're discussing Luka Doncic trade from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers and the significant impacts that are already beginning to unfold. First and foremost, it's important to highlight one decisive point. The Mavericks should never have let Luka go. This is clear to anyone who has followed, even briefly, the Mavericks' performance in recent years. Luka not only led Dallas to the NBA Finals in 2024, but he was the very essence of the team. His departure wasn't just a questionable decision. It was a choice that could change the fate of a franchise for the next decade. Yet here we are. What turns this bad choice into a potentially disastrous one is the fact that the Mavericks decided to send him to the Lakers, of all teams. And why is this so significant? To begin with, the Lakers are indisputably the most powerful franchise in NBA history, especially when it comes to seizing the smallest opportunity. They're more than just a team. They're a giant in a market, attracting free agents and representing a brand that practically promotes itself. By sending Doncic there, the Mavericks didn't just give up their future, they might have reignited a dynasty. And here's the surprise. The Lakers didn't even present the best trade offer. Information suggests that at least 5 other franchises were ready to offer more advantageous returns. Who knows how many other teams might have been willing to enter the competition if they believed Doncic was really available. This suggests that the Mavericks may have underestimated the entire market. It's possible that internal pressures, fears, or even personal dynamics influenced the decision to opt for the Lakers instead of other alternatives. Fans are speculating whether this could be the beginning of years filled with similar debates. Some analysts argue that the Mavericks front office, under the leadership of the general manager, has become overly focused on the idea of an immediate solution rather than developing a long-term strategy. The situation becomes even more complicated when evaluating what the Mavericks actually got in return. They didn't manage to strip the Lakers of their key assets, as they should have. The team's decision-makers kept essential pieces, which means Los Angeles is not only competitive right now, but also well-positioned to evolve even further. The general manager should have demanded all the draft picks, all the young talent, and all the significant role players available, perhaps even considering LeBron James. Instead, he accepted a deal centered around Anthony Davis and a few pieces that, while promising, don't compare to the generational talent that is Luka. The pain deepens for Mavericks fans as a fourth possible regret begins to emerge. This regret may not be as apparent as the previous 3, but it could affect the Mavericks just as significantly. Despite Davis being the headline acquisition and continuing to be a relevant name, an emerging player has shown himself to be a possible high-caliber star for the Lakers. Since LeBron's injury in March, this player has been averaging nearly 26 points per game, with over 50% shooting and more than 90% from the free throw line. These numbers aren't just good, they point to elite-level performance. Such statistics suggest potential to become an all-star and a cornerstone for the franchise. Could the Mavericks have made the wrong trade? Could this player, instead of Davis, have been the key piece Dallas needed to truly start over and build a sustainable future? Right now, it's hard not to reflect on this player's incredible impact metrics, which have been impressive for quite some time, not just during this recent stretch. He's tied with LeBron in win shares this season and ranks ahead of stars like Trae Young, Jamal Murray, and even Kevin Durant in offensive estimates. Let that idea sink in for a moment. At this point, it's hard not to question the impressive numbers of a certain player, whose performances have been notable for quite a while, not just during this recent phase of prominence. He's tied with another well-known player in win shares this season and has shown superior efficiency compared to well-known athletes from Atlanta, Denver, and even a famous Brooklyn player. It's worth pondering. These aren't just flashes of talent. We're looking at consistent indicators revealing true star potential. On the other hand, another athlete, despite his undeniable talent, has become exactly what critics feared: injury-prone inconsistent, and aging. He injured his adductor during his debut with a new team and ended up missing 6 crucial weeks. Additionally, a key player in this new phase in the same city suffered a severe ACL injury and may miss the entire next season. This is the vision of a risky, reward-heavy future that was envisioned, or is it just a gamble on 2 individuals with an extensive history of physical issues, hoping the circumstances will change? Fans' frustration is palpable, and analysts are raising doubts. To make matters worse, this is not just a temporary setback. The team now finds itself trapped in a future where its 2 main players are older, more injury-prone, and tied to expensive contracts. When the 2026 to 2027 season rolls around, they could be facing a grim reality, a team mired in mediocrity, without draft picks, without young talent, and without a clear path ahead. Although one player may still be considered superior to the other at the moment, that difference could quickly shrink if it hasn't already started to do so. Could different decisions have prevented this situation? What if they had opted to pursue that emerging talent and secured all the draft picks, along with another young prospect, instead of pinning their hopes on a single athlete? What would have happened if they had considered the long-term consequences and reflected on what's truly necessary to sustain success in the league? These are urgent questions fans are grappling with now, and the answers are far from encouraging. In contrast, it seems that a team in a coastal city may have accidentally stumbled upon a promising path to a new phase. One player is running the plays, the aforementioned athlete is shining brighter and brighter, and the roster still has enough resources to facilitate strategic moves during the offseason, positioning this team on the brink of something truly extraordinary for the rest of the league. Could we be witnessing the dawn of a new cycle? They may have stumbled upon a valuable opportunity that could lead to a new era. One player is running the plays, while the mentioned athlete emerges as a star, and the roster remains diverse enough to allow for tactical maneuvers in the offseason. The Los Angeles team could be preparing for something truly impressive for the entire league. Are we witnessing the foundation of a new dynasty being built before our eyes? Some experts are already signaling that, with a few strategic additions this season, the team could position itself as the favorite, not just for next season, but for many years to come. Meanwhile, the other team is beginning to face a complex reality. There's a growing concern that its fans may start to lose interest if this new phase doesn't start off solidly next season. Reports indicate that ticket renewals have slowed and sales of merchandise for the revamped roster have not met expectations. Although it's still early, in a market like Dallas, where the competition for sports attention is fierce, every detail matters, and the early signs aren't promising. To make matters worse, the Western Conference is strengthening. Teams like Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and New Orleans are young, fast, and full of talent. Golden State still has a chance for recovery, and opponents like Denver or Phoenix shouldn't be underestimated. The team hasn't just diluted its position. It may have chosen to enter a conference that is preparing to move forward without its participation. Another significant concern is chemistry. Creating good chemistry doesn't happen overnight, especially when your 2 stars frequently sit out due to injuries. While one player and the aforementioned athlete have started to develop a dynamic connection, the other 2 players barely shared the court in the new team's early games. Each lost game represents a new opportunity for doubts and frustrations to intensify. Furthermore, the question of long-term leadership must be considered. One player stands out as the unquestionable leader, both in communication and through his actions. In contrast, another athlete, despite his skills, has never embodied this type of character. Another player may have his own way of guiding the team, but his leadership style has proven, to say the least, unconventional. Who will maintain the unity of the group when challenges arise? This remains a relevant question without an answer as the team moves forward. Moreover, the draft situation adds a new layer of complexity. Kyrie's personality might lead to a singular approach, but his leadership style has proven to be, at least, unconventional. Who will ensure the cohesion of the team in the face of obstacles ahead? This is a crucial question that remains unanswered as the team moves forward. When it comes to the draft situation, giving up multiple future first-round picks in exchange for one player comes with significant limitations for the team. Even if the circumstances deteriorate quickly, it's not easy to transition into a rebuilding process without sacrificing valuable picks in favor of other teams. The pressure could begin to grow faster than anyone in management anticipated. Additionally, we cannot overlook the psychological impact on Luka Doncic. After years of carrying a franchise with minimal support, he now finds himself in a new reality, surrounded by an effective front office and high-level teammates, as well as the pressure of the franchise's legacy. This is an ideal situation for a player of his caliber, and early reports indicate that Luka is embracing this opportunity with a focus and intensity we've never seen before. In fact, experts have already observed subtle changes in Luka's game, such as less frustration with referees, quicker defensive rotations, and increased confidence in his teammates. It's amazing what an encouraging environment and genuine support can do for a talented athlete. Luka seems more content, sharper, and more powerful than ever, which is a worrying sign for every other team. Another developing narrative is the mentorship relationship between Luka and LeBron James. As LeBron approaches the end of his career, he continues to exert a significant influence behind the scenes. Passing the torch to Luka, both symbolically and literally, could become one of the most fascinating themes in the coming seasons. If Luka can absorb even a fraction of LeBron's leadership teachings, his growth could be accelerated significantly. It's clear that the fan base is incredibly excited right now. After years of struggles, it seems like a new optimism is rising with full force. This energy is palpable, and the fan community is feeling the excitement that only arises when a true star era is about to begin. On the other hand, the Dallas team is facing frustration that's turning into apathy. Some of the most loyal fans have already started to drift away. Facing losses while holding on to hope for the future is one thing. Feeling that the future has been compromised in a moment of desperation is something completely different. There's a considerable amount of work to do to restore fan trust. Additionally, the situation with the coach deserves attention. He remains in his position for now, but rumors are growing that if next season doesn't start off strong, his position could be at risk. There's a limit to the patience that management and fans will show if the team continues to produce unsatisfactory results, especially after such a high-stakes risk. Meanwhile, the coach's situation in this new reality is ideal. He has a star player, promising young talents, and a front office willing to make bold bets. His biggest challenge might not be related to effort or team chemistry. It could simply be managing expectations and ensuring that egos stay in check as success begins to accumulate. However, what do we make of all these developments? Was the trade involving Luka Doncic the most contentious decision in the franchise's history? Should they have focused on acquiring another player instead of making this risky trade? Is the team about to reclaim its prominent position in the league? It's interesting to reflect on all of this. As a basketball fan, it's rewarding to observe strategic moves and bold decisions that result in positive outcomes. But what happened in Dallas seems reckless, short-sighted, and truly discouraging for their fans. The hope is that the situation improves, but at this moment, it doesn't seem like it's the case. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, in a stunning twist that has the NBA world buzzing, the Los Angeles Lakers have set their sights on Kenny Atkinson to become their next head coach, following the abrupt dismissal of J.J. Redick. Redick, a former sharpshooter turned rising coaching talent, lasted less than a full season at the helm. His exit has left a void the Lakers seem eager to fill with someone who brings both experience and momentum, and no one fits that bill better right now than Atkinson. Currently steering the red-hot Cleveland Cavaliers, Atkinson has emerged as one of the most talked-about coaching figures in basketball. Hired by the Cavs on June 28, 2024, he made an immediate and emphatic impact, guiding the team to an historic 15-0 start, the best debut stretch for any head coach in NBA history. That unprecedented run has transformed Cleveland into a powerhouse and thrust Atkinson into the spotlight once again. Sources close to the Lakers organization described the franchise as aggressively pursuing Atkinson, viewing him as the ideal leader to guide their superstar core and reclaim championship relevance. The Lakers' front office reportedly values his ability to build structure, foster player development, and adapt tactically, traits they believe were lacking under Redick. Given Atkinson's prior experience with the Brooklyn Nets and his recent success in Cleveland, it's no surprise he's become the top candidate. However, luring Atkinson away from a thriving Cavaliers team midseason is no small task. Cleveland has rallied around their new coach, with players praising his calm demeanor and meticulous game planning. There's also the matter of his contract and the ethical challenge of pursuing an active coach from another franchise. Still, when the Lakers come calling, the league pays attention, and Atkinson may soon face a career-defining decision. As the Lakers weigh their next move, one thing is clear. The organization is desperate to stabilize after a chaotic start to the season. In Kenny Atkinson, they see more than just a coach. They see a culture shifter, a strategic mind, and a potential savior. Whether that vision becomes reality remains to be seen, but the chessboard is set, and all eyes are now on Cleveland and Los Angeles. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.